national emergency. Important details will follow. Do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep. This message will repeat. Do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep.
Hello!
Hey.
Welcome to the patch.
Hello.
My goodness.
Brought to you today by Crunchyroll and MeUndies. Thank you for our sponsors. To our sponsors.
Yeah.
For our sponsors. Thank you
And
from our
about
sponsors.
our sponsors.
To our watchers. Today we're joined by...
Ashley. Meg.
Miles.
And Ryan.
Yay.
Flip that thing.
Video games.
Hey, good call.
Hey,
Flip
nice
that
reminder.
shit, bro.
I'm glad, this is why I'm
I
glad
learned
Miles
that was
is
my
here.
job
Miles
last
is
time.
profesh.
Because
That's
Miles
all I know.
nailed
It's,
it when it was
it's-
his job.
It's true.
Thank you, Meg.
Look,
did, you nailed it.
I've gotten jaded on the working of the thing.
You've gotten jaded on everything, Ryan. It's not just you've gotten
I
jaded.
wasn't gonna say it, but-
Thank
Look,
you. You're
I
just an
let my-
unpleasant person. If that's what it
Thanks.
is.
Just let my appearance go. I'm gonna tighten this up a little bit. I got my screwdriver.
Okay.
It's getting
Oh,
a little
wow.
loose.
He's feeling guilty. He's performing
There we go.
repairs.
Doing a little bit of
No,
maintenance.
I almost
I
called
even
him
put
Dad.
my trash under there.
I was about
Thanks.
to say.
I'm not.
I was gonna
Okay.
say Ryan's dad has been through the roof today, but I almost said Dad's dad has been through the roof today.
I mean,
We're on it.
shout out
Yeah,
to
we
you.
are.
Hey, what's happening in the world of games?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah,
Fuck,
pretty
what are we
much.
doing here?
Well,
And thank you for joining us.
All right, there's a couple
nothing.
things.
Not nothing.
There's
I
a
mean,
few things.
Battlefront 2 is confirmed. It's gonna be new trilogy stuff.
All
There's
right.
some game called Uncharted that everyone's like, it's pretty
That's
good.
PlayStation. I mean, that's just no one plays that,
Hey,
right?
shut your dirty
Get
whore
outta
mouth. I thought what was interesting about the Battlefront 2 announcement was they were like, we get to explore new worlds, unlike the old worlds we had before.
We're
it was
just
like they just
stuck in
shit
that
on
original
all of the old original Star Wars, and we're like,
Everybody
yeah,
wanted
fuck
to go
it.
to Hoth. Hoth
got-
is boring. It's all snow.
New deserts, new jungles, new snow.
Maybe a starbase or two? I don't know.
Well, let's not get carried away.
All right, sorry
Maybe a
about that.
Star Destroyer.
I mean, you got the Death Star in the original Battlefront, right? One of the levels was on there.
Now they'll just get Death Star 2 from fucking Force Awakens.
That's
What if
Death
it's
Planet.
Death Planet.
Death Planet, my bad.
We barely got to see any of it. Spoilers.
I was
Let's
gonna
not,
say
not
not a lot
talk
of
about
deceit.
Death Star Jakku. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like Jakku's one of the
You were
planets.
there.
I
You
was
went
trying,
for
we
it.
were
You
punning
went
up
for it.
earlier,
No,
you
you did
know?
great. Yeah, no.
We were rhyming.
We
were
did. We
having
had a
good
good
time.
rhyme,
There
and I'm
was
pretty
a-
sure the entire rhyme ended with the word "fap."
It
so
did.
Yeah, there was a fap rhyme.
It was
That-
claps
that
and faps
kills
and
most
naps.
rhymes, yeah.
We can't really beat it.
There we go. That's how
Nailed
you
it.
a fucking pun, Meg.
Sorry, fuck. Fuck. If I were in that chair, I'd walk off set right now.
So Disney Infinity is gone.
All right.
R.I.P.
And so are a lot of jobs.
Did anyone play it?
Nope.
That's the problem.
All right.
That's why it's gone.
Step
I do
one.
know people who were like, I either knew people who didn't care about it at all, or people who were absolutely fanatical about it.
And there's a lot of people with
10 of
kids,
them.
too.
Yes, it's not very many.
You
that I
know,
knew.
the thing that sucks about that is I feel like Disney Infinity had so much potential because it's got all the properties, all the franchises that little kids are into. Little kids are the ones that are going to bug their parents to buy this and this. Plus, it's an amazing thing to be like, oh, we need a new gift for the birthday. We need a new gift for the Christmas. We need, they've gone a
love
whole
the
month.
Christmas.
Kids and the Christmas.
Christmas is my favorite.
Christmas is my
The
favorite.
Christmas is so good.
A whole month without getting grounded. Oh, you did all your chores this week. Like, here is
Is that what you get
Dude,
now?
no, it's 100% right. Yeah,
As I was a
anything
kid,
is a
you just didn't
giftable
get hit.
opportunity.
No, but it's funny that you say like little kids are the ones who are going to buy it and little kids are the ones who are going to get excited because at E3 you couldn't get near the damn Infinity booth and it wasn't little kids waiting in line for it. I'll tell you that much. And free T-shirts didn't help.
Well, look, I mean, there's a whole segment of adults that are completely obsessed with Disney too. Obviously, a lot of guys tend to like the figures. I mean, to make some sweeping
Guys love
generalizations.
figures.
Guys love them figures.
Numbers, bodies,
I have,
anything,
I have
really.
all the Darths. I got
Yeah.
Darth Vader, I got Darth Maul, and then I went ahead and I got Kylo Ren. They're all on my desk.
Oh, that was nice.
See?
of
I
you.
like
There
the
you
bad
go.
guys because
You
Gray
said
got all the
one.
good guys, and I was like, "Fuck you, Gray!" And they stared at each
Do
other
you guys,
across
do
the
you guys
Can't
hall.
ever
have
have mock battles?
And like there are a lot of
Oh, yeah.
women who are obsessed with Disney princess stuff. Like there's an entire line of wedding dresses that are based on Disney princesses.
I
Girl, you
I
can
have
get
no problem
married in
believing
the
that.
heart of Disney World
Right.
in a horse-drawn carriage with
saying
the
I
guys
could've-
dressed like the
I
Cinderella
could have
footman.
married Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yeah, you could have.
Lori wouldn't let you. But
No, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have flown.
Yeah.
The whole
Or it'd have
thing.
been like, the fuck is this shit? And then thrown
So, there's absolutely a segment of like parent-age people who are going to be just as into it. Plus, let's be honest, great way to bond with the kids who are
Yep.
also going to be into
On
it.
the
Wait, here's the thing.
Christmases.
So was the game behind it any fun?
So that's what I was getting
Well,
to.
that's-
So
yeah.
this whole thing reminds me of one of the things that led to the downfall of Atari. So one of the big problems with Atari back when like Atari was king was that they kept cranking out more and more and more games and more software and all this stuff, but it all ran on the Atari. So there was absolutely no need to go out and buy another console. So they started losing a shit ton of money because they weren't moving consoles because everybody already had a console. It reminds me that there's a
What
bunch
a
of other.
terrible problem to have. Like, oh man, everyone owns
Shit.
one of our consoles. We're in big
We
trouble.
got
It's no, but yeah,
100%
that was a part
market
when you continue to
saturation.
produce it. Then exactly, yeah. So
Well, that's how you end up with ET, right? Is you print more cartridges than consoles.
well, the
also
whole
it was
ET
a
thing was just it
piece
was a
of
bad
shit
game
game.
too.
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
If
but
you drop a turd on the market, no one will take it home. Sorry.
The reason it reminds me of that is that there's a bunch of other games out there that are similar to the Disney Infinity model. Obviously, the one that started it all was Skylanders,
Yes.
the Spyro spinoff, which I still hate because I
enough.
just want another Spyro game. But and then of course there's the Amiibos. But the key differences here are as far as I'm aware when it comes to the Skylanders, with every new line of Skylanders toys, like the new ones that they put out, there's a big change to the game. Like there's a brand new like huge game mechanic that comes with it. Like I think the latest one was like you can swap out different pieces. Like that's a game changer. That's a huge thing that they focus on. Then you take the Amiibos. The biggest thing I would say for the Amiibos is that you finally get a pretty high quality Nintendo figure for not a lot of money. People love Nintendo. Like if people just made Amiibos and they didn't even have any sort of like software compatibility, I still think they do pretty damn well.
we've got like 5 or 6, and I don't think we've ever attached an Amiibo.
You just like
to
having
Same.
the
I just
gamepad.
have Toad.
Yeah.
Gotta have him.
But for the people that do like using them in game, it's not just for one game. I can use
Yep,
my Link
that's
figure
very
on
true.
Hyrule Warriors,
Yep.
Twilight Princess, Smash Brothers. I can use it on my 3DS if I have the little attachment, or if I have the new 3DS, which has a terrible name.
Yes.
Then you get to Disney Infinity, and with Disney Infinity, with every new line, you get a few new maps and toy boxes. Like, oh, cool! The Disney Infinity 3.0. Now I can run around Jakku. And cool. Like that, they weren't adding a ton of incentive on the software end to really justify putting out more of these figures. There was no like they had Disney Infinity 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. And correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't
they
think
will.
those are. Oh,
They
I know they
will.
will. As far as I'm aware, those weren't like drastically different games. They were just slight updates to the game to include a few new maps, and then you couldn't go back to the old maps with certain characters. It's just like they didn't really support it from a software end. So then you're left with a bunch of toys that not necessarily everybody's going to buy because, well, they already have this game that they've kind of already played. And yeah, I could play it with Anakin, but
And to be fair, you're talking about how much people love Nintendo and will buy Amiibos even if they didn't do anything. I mean, people love Disney fanatically. However, Nintendo licensed goods are quite rare.
Yeah.
Whereas Disney, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can get any sort of anything. So there's no real need to get these Skylander or these Disney Infinity figurines because they're not really doing anything for you.
Yeah, it does seem like it doesn't have the same kind of value proposition. Like you buy one and what you can do with it, there's not as much for what it costs.
Sure.
So I do think Nintendo's done an awesome job at building an ecosystem in which Amiibo are, like they're a legitimate part. They're worth it. There's something you can do with it. I mean, I don't use them, but I totally could.
yeah, from the software end
If only I cared.
for the Amiibos, it's like, oh, it's a little added bonus. I bought it because I wanted a fucking baby Bowser figurine, not because, sorry, Bowser Jr.
I like Yarn
Please,
Yoshi.
Miles.
How dare you. Yeah, the Yarn Yoshi.
Yarn Yoshi is pretty adorable.
It's pretty cute.
And they made the like big version. Oh, bless.
Carrie has
tell you
all
that.
of them.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah. But yeah, Disney Infinity, kind of a bummer for a bunch of people.
It's a bummer for a bunch of
Also-
people. It was a bad week for jobs in general with like Uber and Lyft and this.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's really only an Austin area thing, right?
I guess that's true, but that's still a lot of people.
Ryan, the
That
world
is-
revolves around us.
Well, this is
For
where
the
we
moment.
live, okay? Like, you know what? I just need to.
Everybody on the stage has a car.
So, There's a
Well,
person in my
look,
family who
this-
doesn't drive.
This
True.
affects Meg more than it affects
Thank
any of us
you.
because
fair.
Meg is now an Uber driver who doesn't get
An
paid.
unpaid, unlicensed
I
Uber
have
driver.
a secret. I was always an Uber driver.
Aw.
But now even more.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
we'll see how Get Me turns out. But yeah, the fact that Avalanche shutting down, this means like Disney no longer in games. Really, remember they shut down for now. They shut down all of their mobile studios and everything. Star Wars is licensed off to EA for the next. It's still what 8 years to go. It's a while still. So they're not going to be doing any of their own Star Wars stuff for the time being. Maybe they're just out of games. Maybe they just
Oh, I
they're
mean,
done, or they're just
that's-
going to start licensing it out to a bunch of other people,
That's
like they've
probably a
done with
better way to
EA and
go.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
People
that's
that know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, why
say
try
the
and
Avalanche
build
didn't.
something from zero when you can just license it to someone that's already knows what they're doing?
You know who they just need to license everything to is Square Enix, and maybe we'll get our goddamn Kingdom Hearts 3 because it has been so long, and we're still seeing nothing.
Yeah, I think they've kind of
I
missed
love-
it on that
No,
one.
remember
Yeah,
that
I
one
love
trailer
what
that
they
said
do.
coming soon?
I do love when you go to E3 and it's like a big ass banner and the game's not even beneath it. It's just like they just have a banner to be
Don't
like, hey,
forget.
fuck you.
Remember that character?
Hey,
Yeah.
fuck you.
It's at this point, it's just infuriating. I know that they'll come up with something really awesome, and I'll be happy, and everything will be wonderful again. But right now, for this time, I'm so mad.
I don't know that they will. It may have missed its window. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that still remember.
That-
well,
dude,
I mean,
dude,
May have
dude,
missed
its
the-
Let's all stare
hype pump is
judgmentally
on the way down.
Remember
Come
when
on.
we trusted the voice of Goofy because we were that desperate for information about Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, we just wanted anything, and he's like, "It's coming in." We were celebrating. There's probably some confetti in the rafters still,
got that.
and
We got that covered.
nothing.
I mean, would you even believe it at this point? It's like StarCraft Ghost. I mean,
I would have gone with the Half-Life 3 reference. You went for one a little less common
well,
used.
Half-Life
Good for you.
3, they
Did-
never even bothered
Excuse me,
showing
do you know that
anything.
Ryan is a PC Master Race founding member?
You
okay?
don't say.
Do you know that? Do you know that?
Because I existed before
Oh,
consoles.
Yeah, it's fine.
Very quickly, James9937 on Twitter has
is your
an
internet
update.
working?
Yeah, my internet totes works. For Disney Infinity, there's 2 final retail releases coming, including 3 new characters from Alice Through the Looking Glass. And a Finding Dory playset, which it's a Finding Dory, so whatever. Be happy.
Let's just call it the one last chance for money expansions.
Yeah, the please, dear God.
It's
Final
probably
Fantasy,
they're
if you
already
will.
being
Hey, that one
produced
worked.
expansions.
Did it?
Yeah, you
Not
know the
well
story
enough.
about Final Fantasy, right?
What?
I learned the story of Final Fantasy today from Carrie.
Like the rundown of the entire history
No,
of Final
Square
Fantasy?
Enix was like, as a studio, was tanking. It looks like they were going to go down. They were going to make one more game. They decided to call it their Final Fantasy. Guess what? We're on 15 now.
I don't know that this is going to resurrect Disney Studios.
I don't
Everybody's already
think
been
so
fired.
No, but we'll see. I mean, Final Fantasy 15. Remember how long that even has taken to come out?
Dude, I just saw because
Because that started life as 13 verses, right?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes.
Hold
Because
on.
14
If
was
only-
the awful MMO one, right?
Yeah, I don't get into the MMO Final
What's
Fantasy.
happening there, Meg?
Someone said I guess they were talking about how we're talking about how much people love Disney. They said my aunt cried when she saw Mickey in Disneyland and said, "I waited 35 years to meet you."
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
Oh my god, hold on.
Way to
You
bring
and I-
that shit
I'm
down,
gonna-
Meg.
I'm sorry, I just teared up a little bit. That's really
I
sweet.
love it, so sweet. And speaking of something that's sweet,
And then she punched Goofy right in the nose.
you cunt, I hate you.
I've always hated you, Goofy.
No, I loved how many game studios were reaching out and saying, guys, if you're looking for work, like we heard
Yeah.
about Avalanche, please come and work for us. Ubisoft sent stuff out. Like there were a lot of game studios, so it was really cool to see the community come together.
That's
the
a, I mean,
industry
that's
come
a
together.
small world.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
even here at Rooster Teeth, we have a lot of people that have worked in that industry.
It is, and that's why we were talking about how dumb it was for the editors that were talking about Battlefield and being like, "Yeah, you might work."
Can we talk? Let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, so
Battlefield?
Did it melt the internet,
trailers,
Ryan?
Yeah.
That
So
was
the Battlefield
nuts.
1 trailer is on fire with
I
likes.
thought it was pretty
Yeah,
neat.
it is
Versus
the
the-
most liked trailer of all
That
time on
blows
YouTube.
my mind.
Call of
Versus
Duty, the most disliked trailer.
Now-
now it's in the top 10 at least.
Would you say that's partially because a bunch of people just wanted to stick it to Activision?
Yes, I think
Yes.
it's considered. I was saying in the room, I think it's a double dislike. So not only did they go and dislike the Call of Duty trailer, they actively liked the Battlefield trailer to give a double fuck you.
But
to
the
Activision.
Battlefield 1 trailer
Yes.
is completely
We're looking at it here.
Oh, is it coming? Okay.
Yeah.
The Battlefield 1 trailer, I feel like hits all the same critical points that they were tweeting about?
What,
is
you
that why
mean-
they got
you
pulled
mean
down?
like, oh, look,
there's
look at
no
all the
in-game
CG.
footage. Or, it's just all.
Oh, excuse me. This is
That's why-
all
engine
pre-rendered.
footage.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't really lose my shit over the Battlefield trailer. It was kind of cool. I'm excited to see something that's not modern or future warfare again. We get to go back to the times where it was nothing but World War I and II shooters. But I mean, in general, I've always preferred Battlefield games. But I don't really see what everyone's losing their shit over.
Well,
I don't know.
you know,
Here's what
my first Battlefield game was 1942. I remember playing it at a LAN party. The demo came out. We all lost our shit playing Wake Island over and over and over again. And then we all went to the store, bought our copies, went back to the LAN party. Yes, we bought our own copies.
Nice.
Nice. You didn't share discs.
Exactly. We were those losers.
Hey.
Guys,
Hats
my
off to you.
my CD key's already in use. Okay, yeah, leave me alone.
And so that was my first experience, and I liked the World War II level of technology and everything. That was really great then. It's been a while, I think, since we've seen a game sort of go backwards in the technology level. Everyone's going future because all the weapons have to get cooler and everything has to get higher tech and more frantic, and you don't want to go backwards to like.
There will be no calls.
Everything sucks more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and it looks like they've also put a fictional
Nothing's
spin on some
accurate.
of this stuff too. Like you got
But
They
guys
That's
running.
what I
said
mean.
it
That
is
it is
not
not.
an alternate World War I timeline. They have
Some of that stuff I was-
specifically said.
I gotta admit,
means
this is
the
my
people who lost are going to lose again.
my history was, I guess, on military technology was not as up to date as I thought, because I was seeing some of the things in that and going, I didn't think that was World War I era.
There's
Even
some
like in
stuff
the
in
trailer,
there.
you see the guy with the Mauser pistol. I was like, I mean, that's more commonly associated with World War II. But no, that stuff actually extends
Really?
back to World War I. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I knew that was kind of the beginning of tanks. And the Zeppelins were in use, and the air power was a really new thing, which is why you see in like the biplanes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mustard
that
gas.
you just
a lot of mustard gas.
Ooh, yeah.
Actually, before you start the game, the Wilfred Owen poem will be read to you. Dulce decorum est. You have to read that and take a test on it before you get to play World War I. Anything.
Man,
Okay.
It's
they
like an
really
AP
cracking down on
history
piracy
exam.
with that.
Yeah,
sort of
they
stuff.
really are. That's how they know you're a human.
All right, let me read this real quick.
Do it.
This episode of The Patch is brought to you by Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is a leading global destination for the most authentic anime experience you can find outside Japan. You can try out Crunchyroll Premium for 30 days free with crunchyroll.com/thepatch. Each season, they bring in the best new anime to deliver the largest lineup from classics to new favorites. They offer the largest, most diverse collection of series straight from the source. Current lineup for spring includes shows like 100 and Zero. Starting Life in Another World. All newest episodes are added as soon as 1 hour after air in Japan via simulcast, ad-free.
Some of the animes that I really enjoy watching on Crunchyroll would be Erased and Gate, a few things we talked about on fan service that are really good. If you haven't seen them yet, you should totally watch Erased. Erased is only like 12 episodes long. It's super good.
Good job, Miles.
Fucking idiot.
Get your Crunchyroll Premium for 30 days free at crunchyroll.com/thepatch. And then tell me about your favorite anime shows on Crunchyroll.
Don't forget to
look
read
so
the
cute when you
email
lie.
address and everything else on that thing too. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Underscore Mariel Salcedo.
Good job, Ryan.
Salcedo. You're going to just make it a
I'm
hole
off,
deeper.
man. I'm trying not
Next
to read
week when
anymore.
you tune into the patch, it'll be anybody but Ryan reading the ad.
Feel free to. I'm just here. You can just take this.
I think Miles can read the next one.
There you go.
Before we get too far from the whole Battlefield and Call of Duty, is it Infinite Warfare? Is that what the new one's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
James made a really awesome point on one of their recent Dude Soup podcasts.
Bring it.
Which was, a lot of people rag on Call of Duty as like they're just beating the dead horse. Oh, they're not innovating anything. It's just the same stuff over and over and over again. Oh, slightly better graphics, blah 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 blah. And they announce Infinite Warfare, and then they say if you buy this game, we're also going to bundle with it best Call of Duty game ever, all time, HD remaster, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And everyone's like, oh yeah, and people are super excited about it. Like, fucking, you give me that. Do you see the hypocrisy here?
Yeah.
And that, like, oh, we don't want the same thing over and over again. It's literally the same thing. Give it to me. I get it. I get the nostalgia, and I will agree. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 is right up there with Call of Duty 2 with me. It's like, I love those two. Those two are like my favorite Call of Duty games. But it's just like, I don't.
That's the remake
Can I just say
audience.
though? Yeah, it's like the don't pre-order movement. Okay, we all understand what they're trying to say and what they're trying to do, and we support a lot of the message that comes with the movement, like don't pre-order games. However, there's a Nathan Drake belt buckle in it for me. I'm gonna fucking pre-order that game. It's really hard to stand for something. You're gonna fucking buy it because you want it, right? That's what happens.
And then people are like, why do they keep doing this? Because it works.
Because you're part of the problem. Just admit you're part of the problem.
No one ever thinks that they're part of the problem.
Right. It's just like
Everyone's
I'm just one person.
Everyone's the exception. But I get it. Like it sucks for people who are trying to build these franchises because they say they want one thing.
Yeah.
But their behavior indicates otherwise.
Yep.
So franchises in particular have to walk such a careful line. They have to change it up just enough that people stop bitching that it's the same thing over and over again, but not so much that it's unfamiliar territory, because people don't want that. They want the familiarity, even if they say that they don't, because that's why they go to that franchise, is for that experience and for that one thing.
That was a huge thing that came up when Halo 4 added in loadouts. People were like, oh, if I want loadouts, I'll go to Call of Duty. Get your Call of Duty out of my Halo was a big thing.
Do you think maybe the whole concept behind remastering this and releasing it alongside it was just a big, like, F you? Like, look, this is what it was originally like. You keep telling me that nothing's changed from this game to this game.
And that's clear.
Yeah.
That is.
How's your wall running doing?
Let me tell you, man, as somebody that has never played the Uncharted games before, but went out and got the HD remastered trilogy and is playing it now in preparation for Uncharted 4, I'm sitting there going, these games are fucking dated. Oh my God.
No, they really
yeah, and like,
hold up.
People say, oh, just make it through Uncharted 1 and then everything picks up. No, it doesn't. Like it's good. And it's like, to give you an example, I didn't see The Goonies until I was in college. And I remember being very upset going, I would have loved this movie when I was a kid. But now I'm like, it's whatever. That's how I feel playing the Uncharted trilogy right now is, God, I would have loved these games when
like
they came
that
out.
change the genre, and then even if you don't play them, you've played things that have been influenced by them.
Yeah.
And so now you're already behind the curve.
It's like if you watch Blade Runner for the first time nowadays, you'll be like, yeah, that was pretty cool. But you don't get, like, Blade Runner has affected so much since then. That's why it's not so different to you.
If you watch Blade Runner now, you'll probably think it's derivative.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it. You've seen this so many times. You've seen so many of these elements in other stuff. At the time, there was nothing like that. But since then, it's been done and polished and fine-tuned and done even better. And that's every video game as well.
Yeah, when I played The Last of Us for the first time, that's what I assume it would have felt like playing Uncharted for the first time. Because Uncharted, I know, is like beautifully cinematic in how it handles its gameplay, the animation, all the little like asides that Nathan will just throw out as he passes a random NPC. It's got a ton of heart and polish. But before I played any of this, I played The Last of Us, which had that in spades. It's like I can see how it was such an important stepping stone on the way to Uncharted 4, which I'm hearing is phenomenal. But yeah, I'm every time I have an enemy encounter in the Uncharted trilogy, it's like pulling teeth. I'm just like, I just want to hear the story.
I had a very sad version of this happen with Gavin loves not another teen movie, and yet he hadn't seen any of the teen movies it referenced.
How does he love it without that?
I don't know. And
Without
so we're
that, it's
watching like
awful.
She's All That, and he's like, oh, that's like the part and not another teen movie. And I'm like,
but she's got glasses and a ponytail.
yeah, exactly. So we had a version of that at our house. Also, I wanted to say very quickly, we were talking about Battlefield. I don't want to move on without mentioning that Mike Glinsky said that his biggest issue with Battlefield 1 was that the red Fokker triplane was the Red Barons only. There were one or two, not lots of them. I did look that up. The Fokker DR1, I believe, or DRI is what he's talking about.
That model.
Now, so that's the model. It is famous for the Red Baron, but it also says it saw widespread service in the spring of 1918. So
1918 confirmed.
Like, I mean, so maybe just the paint job is really what's upsetting him.
Can
Like,
I just say, I wish they'd named it Battlefield 1918?
Yeah.
Or
Like,
World
well,
War
I get it.
or
Do you
anything,
yeah,
Do you
really.
think Xbox was like, hey, look, we're already giving you some exclusive time frame? Just call it Battlefield 1.
Like, I get it. It's World War I, hence Battlefield 1. But the thing is, like, we've had, you know, we started with 1942.
triplane.
We had, what was it, 2142?
Yeah.
Like, and I get that since then they've gone, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So it's like they can go back and do a 1, but just go with the year, bro. We get the year.
Yeah, it's real
Okay, but I
bad.
just want to say before we move on that World War I did not begin in 1918. It began in 1914. So I just want to put that out there in case.
But we don't know, like, what
I hope we're not fighting just the last 11 months of a war. That'd be pretty boring.
Well, then no, that's when the best stuff happens.
Isn't
Like
that-
it ends.
11 months is a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people could die.
That's a lot of
That's
war.
very true,
A
but I'm
lot
just
of war,
saying.
Just think of all the people you can kill.
Yeah. Well, it's true, but I would
With
hope it's
flamethrowers,
1914.
mustard gas. You
I
can
want to
gas.
see Archduke Franz Ferdinand get capped.
But-
I want to see his driver
want
take
it?
a
It'll be
wrong
like a
turn.
World War
Meg,
Origins.
But Meg, if it's any earlier
Maybe
than
that'll be like your
1918, the Red Baron's plane didn't see widespread use.
Right,
Maybe that'll
which
be
is why
like
the
a-
guy is mad that they're in the sky so
Maybe
much.
you'll get like a Chernobyl scene where you're the one that ends up shooting him.
Yeah, we're the poor misguided youth that made a bad decision. And
Press F
set,
to dig trenches.
There you
yes,
go.
thank you. Yes. Press X to execute
Kick off
innocent
World War
bystander.
Pow.
What if you're just a guy who actually apprehends the Black Hand and like kills the kid and then it never happens and that's the end of the game?
Oh, you want?
Yeah.
Well, that's the alternate history.
That's the
They said they
alternate
weren't going
history
to
they're
do
not
it.
going to do.
So
That's
to
like a
shatter
secret
dreams.
achievement.
Yep.
Does alternate history in old school games, is that sad? Because it means that like no matter what you do, you have no impact. Nothing will change.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's still Civil War reenactors too. People are fine with it. Like, oh, we won this day, but you didn't really.
Are you saying like, is it lame playing a historical game if you're playing as the Nazis because you know that in the long run you didn't win? Is that what you're saying?
I think you're saying, isn't it better to be playing an alternate
I just
timeline
say
so
like
it's more imaginative?
I love the alternate timeline. I want to see where this can go. Like you make a little, like one little shift, and what else could have happened in the
Butterfly
future.
effect. I'm
That's
down.
a deep first-person shooter.
Yeah. Battlefield Hotline actually had a pretty enjoyable single player.
You
I'm sorry,
actually
Battlefield
liked-
Hotline.
Yes.
Hotline.
Hardline?
Hardline.
Hotline Miami. Hotline.
That was
You
a hard
used to
line.
call me.
Tell me
Not a
about your
soft one.
favorite anime. So
So single player was pretty good on that one?
I actually enjoyed it. It was modeled very closely after crime dramas, so that it had kind of a legit sort of story and
That's
sort of
cool.
an episodic.
You're on fire today.
Just look, I slept not at all last night. That's always
Even
my
that
excuse.
sentence.
I slept bad good last night.
No, that was actually
Last dark
that
time,
was
I
very
sleep no
lyrically
good.
formed. Thank you. I slept not at all last night.
You enjoyed the campaign.
I did
in
enjoy the
Battlefield
campaign
Hardline,
in
which is-
Hardline or Hotline,
3,
whatever.
it was whatever, and
3 was whatever.
Yeah, I never
well, I
played
mean,
4.
this is more, I think, akin to if you had to go with something with story, like the Bad Company.
oh, cool.
I mean, so it actually had
Cool,
like
cool,
characters
cool.
that you
That's a triple cool.
were interested in. That's triple cool. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, they've learned from Bad Company and
Well, I don't know. How do you tell a story in
World
this
War I?
environment like this?
There's ways.
I mean, I'm interested.
I mean, we gave them one. Turns out you're Hitler. So
Turns out you're Hitler.
Yeah.
Feel free to use that word.
Yeah,
charge
thank
for
you.
it.
Years
we
before
won't
his
charge
birth.
for it. Well, wait, no. Are you talking about World War One again? Because I was also tweeting someone back. Hitler fought in World War One.
yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh my God! You didn't think he was born?
He was also a
Get
weapon in
off
World
of
War
this
One.
stage.
Wasn't he
I'm not gonna.
kind of considered a good guy in World War One?
He let's see.
Sounds like a conversation
Wow.
in like the
Hold
Marvel
on.
Here's the best
Cinematic
part.
Universe.
So
So,
I'm-
like the Punisher starts off as the antagonist,
Like, he's
right?
a good guy,
But over
right?
time, he learns that Jews are cool, and then
Hold on.
I've,
It turns out that Ashley's actually secretly been an agent for 4chan this whole time. This is her like, guys, maybe Hitler had some good ideas.
look, you can't deny that he got them out of the recession. Okay.
I thought the official canon of history was Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh yeah, look at that. He was a real old fuck. He
Gushing
was
grannies.
born in 1889.
Yeah, 1889.
I don't give a shit about Hitler in World War One.
I don't know. I'm having a wonderful time
It
now.
wasn't until World War
I
II
love
that
you
it was a problem.
so much less now.
that's,
you don't know
okay.
things about history.
I'm
That's-
looking at a bunch of Google results that are terrifying, and I don't want to read them because they'll put me on a list, such as 10 reasons why Hitler was one of the good guys.
Okay, I just want to say
Oh,
that
there's
you're
one.
already on the list if you're in the
Wow.
Google search.
Congrats. Civ 6 got announced. That's another thing.
It
that
did,
Any,
yeah.
any Civ
yeah,
players?
Are you
Is it gonna
excited?
suck?
Yeah, I am excited.
Yeah, I remember you were my Civ 5 buddy.
Yeah, I am looking
As
forward
in
to
buddy
it.
who played Civ 5,
Got
not
it.
that we played together. Because I'm not good enough for Civ.
I mean,
Alright.
the thing about the Civ games is that like they're so good. That, like Civ 5 at this point, you can keep playing it. So I'm like, yeah, Civ 6 will also be great. Let me try and get my Civ 5.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
I'm a
like
little worried though.
the like Beyond Earths and everything, totally different type of game. So
It is, but it isn't. I mean, it was so. Is the only thing relatable about the Civ games the fact that it is connected to actual history, which I
mean,
clearly know nothing about?
if you take into account that like Gandhi's a homicidal killer, sure, yeah, lots of history there. Also, Hitler, one of the good guys.
There you go.
I just want to say there's 2 really funny tweets.
By the way, can that be the title for this
God.
episode? Hitler was one of the good guys. The Patch episode. The last episode. The last
the last
episode.
episode of the patch. Okay, so one person says, at Vicky Pierce 5 said, God damn it, Ryan. I know the game is ancient, but man, I'm playing it now. Thanks for the spoilers.
Oh
Like, you
no!
Like, you can't
Look,
talk
it's an
about
old
any
game.
game.
It's an old game. I'm assuming Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars game when you were like, the twist.
Oh,
Whatever. The twist comes halfway through. There's still
Seriously?
plenty of game left over.
God.
Fucking. That's.
Also, I like that Kay Longthorpe says, being an English 12th century reenactor, fighting on a side that historical is still fun. It's not really about winning. That's true. It's probably for 12th
That's
century
what they were saying in the trenches.
reenactors.
Look,
it's
guys.
all about wearing tights.
We don't have to
Dudes.
win this war as long as we have a good time.
We just
Right,
gotta look
Jenkins?
good doing
Jenkins
it.
is dead, sir. Well, all right. I hope he went out
Jenkins
smiling.
already having a good
Sorry
time.
about that. Did the best I could.
I bet it's just a lot. We should do a historical reenactment. I bet it's a bunch of getting drunk and like yelling.
Can I be Hitler?
No! Oh my god!
We all know Joel's Hitler. I mean, that's if the company has taught
Yeah,
me anything.
fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll just be in Lederhosen, like, oh yeah, Hitler.
Oktoberfest.
What happens the moment you put on Lederhosen?
was there Oktoberfest
Well, I was
in
actually
World
going
War
for
I?
Kara in that
in the
one
short.
short.
right,
I
yeah,
remember the
that's
time
right,
travel
that's
short. Come on.
But it's
Oh,
fine.
Hitler, you dance so sexy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh, if someone could get Lederhosen by the end of the patch, we will all put them on.
She does not
Oh my
speak for
God.
me.
Yeah,
She doesn't
I do.
at all.
How about we
not.
can get Miles into
You
the
remember what I got
Like
you
the
in
opinion-
before,
Yeah, that took
Miles?
time.
Miles, let's just disavow that side, all right?
Hey, let's
we
just
got
talk about
Lederhosen
hey, what's
and
your
Hitler.
favorite game mechanic? How about that?
You know, not being Hitler is actually my favorite game mechanic.
Oh, that's odd because mine's being Hitler.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm
First
just
of
gonna
all, other people upset that you also saying you need to get off the stage for not knowing that Hitler was born during World War One. He was
shit
injured.
about him in World War One.
He was wounded. I did. People were tweeting. Thank you for the
not
people
hard
tweeting
enough.
that. Okay, because I was like, oh, I believe he was wounded, but I couldn't remember.
Other soldiers in World War One, you should have tried harder.
Also, American Sneaker says the history major in me is both intrigued by and cringing at this conversation.
There
Well,
you go.
mostly because
History-
I just looked up on Wikipedia and found out that Germany was part of the Central Powers and America, Freedom Country, was part of the Entente Powers. So I think that means that we were not on the same side.
For World War One? Oh, Ashley,
You
get
don't
off
say.
the stage!
I don't say.
I don't
Get off
know
the
anything
stage.
about the World Wars.
We won, and Germany was basically. You know what? Never mind. We'll talk about it
There's
later.
a
They were
reason that
basically
World War II
blamed, and that's
happened,
why
yeah.
Hitler was allowed to come to power
There was
because
that
he
whole
wanted to
thing,
restore
like
the
a
glory to Germany.
wheelbarrow
It's
full of money
fine.
for
My
bread.
laptop just died.
I know some
so
of the things.
I'm not going to learn anything else.
Anywho, less about history and historical games. Anyway, my
Maybe I
concern
don't need
with
alternate history games. Maybe
Right,
I
you
need
just need
actual
regular
history.
well, this,
history.
games.
okay,
You'll
this ties
never
into
know.
that. My concern with Civ 6 is they really whiffed it with the last Civ game.
Do you mean the
The
Beyond
space
Earth
one,
ones?
yeah, Beyond Earth.
Yeah, but that was more like that was. What says?
The person who's the reenactor says they're called hoes, not tights.
I mean, we didn't call you a hoe. but
I mean, I feel like those were more akin to like Alpha Centauri games than they were
they
to
were
Civ games.
And
So
bad,
I'm okay
though,
with it.
Is what I mean. I played the demo of one. I was like, but yeah, reviews on
mean-
Steam I think were outlandishly bad.
I mean, they didn't look like they were fine. They were not. I wouldn't say they were like at a normal Civ level, and they certainly didn't have the longevity of Civ.
Do you feel like they kept stacking mechanics on top of the gameplay and making it more and more obfuscated?
Yeah, but again, I wonder
Trying to bring
if
it back?
I wonder
you
if a
want
lot
to
of
do
that
that.
is
Word.
is symptomatic
it often.
of franchises feeling like they have to do all this new crazy stuff
Sure.
They gotta
every
Call of
entry.
Duty it up.
Yeah, and so then they try and change enough, but you can't take stuff away. People hate it when you take something away that they've already had, so you end up layering. You add more and more and more, and then eventually it's a mess.
Yeah, yeah. Is there
It's a
what is like a
mess.
game mechanic that was taken away in like a franchise sequel that like you felt was just like, the
Dual
worst thing?
wielding.
Oh yeah, dual wielding. You missed that from Halo.
Come on.
I was pretty sad when it was gone.
I mean, it's just I used to be able to use this hand. And
Now
then
you
what
can't.
happened?
And then what happened? Now it's holding. It's also holding your gun. I feel like we've missed a huge pillar of news this week.
Oh,
I mean,
we've
we
not
still
yet
got, like,
talked
half the
about.
patch,
Okay.
so.
Oh, good. Pokemans. Okay, just want to put Pokemans
Right.
out there. Talking
Right.
about
Pokemon Sun and
sweet
Moon.
leaf owl, fire cat, water
Right.
dog.
I thought it was a
Mongoose.
otter or seal. Seal. There we go. That's
Isn't
the
a water dog?
Ninja
Water dog.
Turtles.
Water dog.
Seal
okay,
is a
fair
water
enough,
dog.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Everybody lost their collective Pokemon shits yesterday.
Yes.
It was yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
You know, most of what I heard from people was they're all underwhelming. I guess the owl is kind of cute.
Oh,
That's funny. I had
interesting.
the opposite reaction. I tried to get back into Pokemon with X and Y. Like I loved Pokemon when it came out because I was like 10, and then everybody.
Is this like the Goonies? Like
So everybody was talking about X and Y. It's back to its roots. It feels like red and blue, and I'm like that's cool, but I still don't really know. I don't know. And then eventually I picked it up, and I got like 5 hours into that game, and I just went. Yeah, I feel like I'm too old for this game. I'm not into it. And that's just me. It's still a perfectly fine
It's
game.
not
And people
you, game, it's
all
me.
over the world love Pokemon. But I'm a fucking Poke hipster. I just love my original 151. As it kept going on, the Pokemon just started looking more and more like basic shapes and colors. So when I saw these starters, I was like, oh, you know what? These guys look kind of neat. I like the little fire cat. That's a cute owl. This
I
looks
like
like it'll be
the
fun. I
owl.
still won't play it.
I love
but-
the owl.
Which tears me because I want the moon version just because of my name. I feel like that was made specifically for me. But
yeah, I feel
don't think I
like
can do
the Pokemon for me was your experience with Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick it up. The first one I tried was X and Y,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I got X. And I remember playing it and go, oh, it's a turn-based rock paper scissors kind of
Mm-hmm.
game, like an RPG. Oh, okay. I've been playing those for years, but the thing is, I've gone sort of past that in terms of overall levels of
Complexity
complicated,
and-
obfuscated, crazy stuff. So I look at it and it feels, even though I know there's a lot of deep layers and strategy to it, it feels very simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just go, yeah, I've played games like this before, but more complex. And so it didn't grab me the way I know it would have if I'd played it when I was younger.
yeah, I know the
Before
moment.
I got all jaded and
Yeah.
bad at history.
The moment I think I decided where I wasn't going to play X and Y was when Carrie and I decided to have a Pokemon battle. And I was like, all right, cool, Poke battles. I remember loving this as a kid. Like 5th grade, called out Xander in the corner. We got that link cable shit went down. I won with Zapdos. It was awesome. Carrie and I, he sends out a water Pokemon. I'm like, here's my electric. He takes his water back. He puts out a fire one. So I took out that one, then I put in a rock one. And then he took his out. I was like, we're just going to keep swapping Pokemon until one of us has a type advantage.
And then you kissed Mila Jovovich, and the
And then
asteroid stopped.
It was like,
Right?
my dick. I put this one out, then he put that one out. Then I took my dick away, then I put my dick out again.
What?
Here's how I feel about
I-
it. It's like a dick measuring
went a different way to
contest with
me,
the types
too.
advantage
Sure,
that they were
sure.
showing
That was
each
the leak
other.
that was made
Oh,
there.
it's
Yes.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all on page with
Yeah,
you there.
thank
we
you. Well,
understood.
I'm on the same page maybe, or just on page. It's fine.
Look, you're in a different book at
Some
this
You're-
point.
pages are longer than others. I don't know.
You're still looking at the script. No, it's fine. I understand that. My problem is, and I feel similar to you, Miles, although I feel like now I want to fight with you. No, I feel the same way in that I'm like, oh, new Pokemon game. And then I literally dig up my SP and my copy of Blue, and then I just put it in. I'm like, yeah, Pokemon. And I get excited to play that again, because when I play new Pokemon games, I'm like, all right, walking through the grass. What the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
A paper towel that has a name. I don't know who he is. I feel very much like the Starbomb song where they just name all shit.
Yeah. I just feel like
And I'm like-
I feel like an old man now,
Yeah.
and I don't get it because like I watched the cartoon growing up too, so it's like, oh that's a primate. That guy's a cantankerous mischief maker. I love him, and this one is Candle.
Opera.
Candlewaxian.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know Candlewaxian. I have no.
Yeah, I
When
think-
they're stuck with a name, that's all they can say, too, right? Like
in the
Candlewaxian.
show, yeah.
In the
Candlewaxian.
show, yeah. In the game, it goes.
Oh.
That's what they do.
make a nice,
Yeah, they have like a
horrifying
cry.
sound.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Yeah, but it takes place in the Pokemon world of. Why do I keep saying Pokemon? They take
Pokemans,
place
yeah.
in the Poke world. It takes place in the equivalent of Hawaii. So
Yeah,
there's some people that are excited
Alola.
about that. Some people that are worried that it's going to be like, I believe, and if I get it wrong, I'll be crucified. Ruby and Sapphire were the ones where there was people complaining there's too much water.
That
IGN
is the
said
one, yes.
too much
Yeah,
water.
which is like
Which
I
is-
know people.
And a meme was born.
And a meme
yeah,
was a meme
which is
was
like,
born.
but no, I hated all the
meme, a
fucking
meme.
water sections in red too. So I don't know. I'm too old for Pokemon, is what I've learned. But I'm excited for everybody that is excited for Sun and Moon.
You know what I think could get me really excited about Pokemon is I want to try Pokemon Go when that
Yeah,
comes out for
yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Like that feels like a way that I can experience Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's gonna be a new, different, very modern experience for me, and I can still be like, I can collect stuff too, guys.
I actually throw Pokeballs
Can I sit at the cool
things.
table now?
I
I
wish
just go
there
home
was
and
a
throw them at my
setting-
dogs. Thunk.
I hope that there's a setting on Pokemon Go that's like just original 151? Like, could you do that in the world so that I don't turn a corner and I'm like, oh, Candle Waxian again, son of a bitch. Like, I could turn the corner and be like, oh my God.
I think that'd be great, though. You come around the corner, you're like, you just start screaming incoherently at nothing. Anybody that's watching is like,
oh, shut up, Candle Waxian. I don't even want you.
What is wrong with her? All right. Who would like to read this? Because I apparently am incompetent.
Miles.
Yeah?
Look
Yeah?
at Miles.
Oh,
Yeah,
me?
Miles, you'll do it. Go for it,
Jesus.
Miles.
Whether you're wearing a suit or sweats, you spend almost 24 hours a day in your underwear. But instead of making a statement like Superman's tights under his everyday clothes, your underwear is probably boring. MeUndies is here to change that. Every pair of MeUndies is made from sustainably sourced modal. Oh, right here it says pronounced modal. I nailed it. A fabric that's twice as soft as cotton. Nothing can describe the fit and feel of MeUndies, but once you try them on, you'll understand why they're called the world's most comfortable underwear. And if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. No questions asked. MeUndies has dozens of styles and limited edition prints to help you make a statement with your underwear, whether anyone can see them or not. Remember, Superman. Shipping is free in the US and Canada, and you can save up to $8 a pair with the MeUndies subscription plan. Get the subscription or a single pair. Get 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/thepatch. That's MeUndies.com/thepatch for 20% off your first order. MeUndies.com/thepatch.
Congratulations. Now you have to do it every time you're on
And
the
Ryan,
show.
what was your Superman?
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
I saw that off camera, by the way.
Superman's kind of like this. I realized that Superman
Guys, Superman!
Hitler
Superman!
is really just a protractor angle.
Up and away!
I mean, he sometimes... No, he dramatically clinches it when it's like time to go super fast. Like when he's just cruising, he's doing like the hand thing, or it's like...
Which is wrong, but he should be doing this for normal speed, and then this makes
Then
him
when
more
he wants to get
aerodynamic.
That's true. Or then sometimes he just puts the arm down, like he just checks his pockets.
How does he control his speed, do you think?
He
Clenching?
squeezes his anus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what I
actually
thought, too.
Kegel based.
You know,
Oh my
Okie
God,
dokie.
Brian.
I'm just a wreck of a man.
What?
You're a wreck of a
done with
single
that.
man over there, both of you.
since we're talking about like 3DS games and such,
Yes.
I need help.
Okay.
So,
I just imagine a world where they got really real, and you're like, I have a drinking problem. It's just like,
Look,
it's stunned
you
silence.
you didn't realize, but you
I
just
have-
showed up to my intervention.
I have a history problem. That's plenty.
So what's up, Ash?
Okay, so I'm going to be traveling a bunch in the next week. And I've just started playing Fire Emblem Fates. I'm playing Birthright because I read on the internet that that's the easier version for people who are new to Fire Emblem, of which I am one. I tried playing the last Fire Emblem game, and I kept dying over and over in like one of the same very beginning matches and was like, fuck this. So I'm trying this one. Totes easier. Love it. Having a great time. But I need more 3DS games. I've been off 3DS a little bit for a while now. I used to be like all 3DS all the time. I was like #1 fan.
Yeah.
Yay, all the time. Street Pass motherfucker.
I was gonna say, you remember Street Pass?
I remember Street Pass.
I
Hell yeah, I
lost.
do.
I left my 3DS on a plane and lost all my Street Passes, and now I just don't care anymore. It's too late for me.
I've lost all my Street Passes a couple
RTX will
times
get it
at
back
this
for you.
point.
Lost it
so
twice now.
What happened over there, Meg?
What?
You
No,
went-
I
She was sad about the Street Passes,
No,
man.
it's sad about your
I
Street
had a
Pass.
lot
It
of
was
passes.
sympathy.
I had every puzzle piece.
multitask, okay?
Anyways,
the problem that I'm having is like now there's so many puzzles,
Yeah.
and I do it so infrequently that I'll never get caught up, and I've just accepted
it was
that.
fun while it lasted.
All right,
But
let
my
me
last,
ask you.
yeah.
Why do you hate that clearly superior gaming device sitting on the table in front of you?
Okay, I don't. That is the other thing. Is I'm loving my laptop for gaming while traveling. Fantastic. Like I'm to the point now where I have a really great PC at home, but we only have 3 gaming PCs in the house.
Oh my god.
I feel for you, really.
So weird because you've only had 3 gaming PCs for long enough that you should just get the 4th.
We
right?
are.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a 4th, but we don't have one yet.
There are 4
And
people in the house.
Bernie,
Okay.
Bernie and the boys have been playing Masters of Orion together, which is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And I love it, except that I'm standing outside the window like this, like, I don't actually want to play Masters of Orion, but I would like a PC
Somehow it's like raining inside the house.
somehow. So I play on my laptop, and it's great. I love it. In fact, super excited. Final Fantasy X coming to Steam tomorrow. What's up?
10 and 10, 10,
10
too.
and 10 too.
Right.
So I can get all them dress spheres and be a pop star again. Yay. But that said, I love 10, so whatever. I'm a sucker.
Go soccer.
But I like on planes, 3DS is just super convenient.
Yeah.
On
You're right.
like on
It is
trains, like
really
while
inconvenient
traveling, while
to
you're
use
actually
a
going
laptop.
somewhere, 3DS is super awesome.
Battery life too is awesome.
I recently kind of got a laptop just to, as we were doing more traveling, to do more gaming, and I took it on a plane to Australia thinking, I loaded up all these games. I'm like, I'm going to play stuff. I'm like, it's really small
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And all right, I'll just watch
Ryan would
movies.
open his laptop about a quarter of the way and be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
not.
It's tough.
Some more 3DS games.
Yeah, the last 3DS game that I loved, the last one that really had me, anyone who's listened to the patch for a while knows it was Fantasy Life.
Yes.
And I've been mourning ever since I learned that Fantasy Life 2 is going to be a mobile game.
Moment of silence.
So I need something else. I
Sure.
need something else to love. Like
You like platformers?
kind of.
Did you play Shovel Knight?
Yes.
Have it,
Shovel Knight's
love it.
phenomenal.
Yes,
Okay.
Shovel Knight.
That's we're good there.
What about any of the Professor Layton games?
You know, I am a few Professor Layton games behind. I think I
I've
played
got some.
I played the first couple and I played the most recent, and there was some weird jumps there.
Well, the timeline goes 1, 2, 3, and that. Well, it's like the
She went to
timeline
her
goes
mind
like
palace there.
4, 5, 1, 2, 3, because it's like 1, 2, 3
6, 7,
ends on a fucking
8,
cliffhanger,
9.
and then
I'm
they're
winning.
like,
I'm winning.
Then they go
shut up.
back.
Then they go back, and
have
then
to
they
go back.
never visit the cliffhanger again. So the best ones are 1, 2,
You
and 3.
should play Legend of Mario: Toad's Great Adventure.
Have you played Link Between Worlds?
Started it. I
That-
actually really, really like it, but see, I suck at games. Like ever,
okay.
this is an ongoing thing now. Is
It is
I'm
an
at the
intervention.
point of what?
I said it is an intervention.
I got to Otherworld, the one where you go in the thing,
World,
and
got
you
it.
go. I got into
Low
the
rule.
dark world where, low rule, where everything's all different and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly dying. So
It's hard there.
I don't know. Did I not level up enough? Whatever. So I just rage. Like I'll pull it open. I'll play it. I'll die a couple times, and I'll be like, I'm gonna come back to this later. And I never get further than that.
Zelda
You
is
have been picking
not-
up the hearts at the end of every dungeon, right?
I think so.
I mean, they're
so.
like, they fall into your face. Pretty
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
think
even
there's
leave
there's
without it.
additional ones you can go and collect, and
Can
maybe
you?
I
Yeah,
just
like
don't
her
people
use
people brag about doing
some
like
of
3
them.
heart runs of Zelda.
Oh God, why would you? Are they still there? Could you like go
Speed.
back and get them
Speed.
I
later?
don't know, maybe.
You gotta do it for speed.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Zelda is made to not be easy. I mean, like the
Yeah.
newer Zeldas, much less so. But the older Zeldas, I mean, A Link to the Past is not an
hard.
easy game.
Oh,
It
wait.
gets hard.
That's
and it
actually one I
scales.
know. I
Yeah.
like that game.
The
Yeah.
one we're talking
great
about
game.
is the
Yeah.
direct sequel to that one.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a sequel?
Yeah.
It's a direct sequel to
No,
Link to the
you
Past.
lost me.
And
Yes.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
they did a
really
really
good.
good job of incorporating the merging with walls thing. Like it feels like that is
I
a game
do
mechanic
love
that's
that
just
mechanic.
always been
It's
there. It's
fabulous.
Merging with walls.
It's so
yeah.
good.
So the way that they the shtick, right? The franchise, the way that the franchise built upon itself, they added in this whole wall painting mechanic where after you get a certain item, you can go from the top-down 3D view, you merge with the wall, the camera comes down and looks at the wall, and you can move along the wall. So for instance, if I came to a wall, I can't get past this, so what am I gonna do? If there's a crack in the wall, I can merge with the wall, travel through the crack, and then come out the other side of the wall. And it
right.
sounds like that's a stupid gimmick.
Or
I
if
was-
there's also like, say there's a ledge, and you can't jump across it, but you can turn into a painting and get across it.
Yeah, by-
because
You can
there's
turn into a painting.
Yes,
Well, yeah.
you essentially become graffiti for a second and then move across. There's a big painting.
Haven't you
theme
ever
going
wanted
through.
to be graffiti, Ryan?
Unspeakably.
It's not super invasive. It doesn't like ram it down your throat.
Yeah.
It's a really well added mechanic and it feels really
Unless I
natural.
become
and
graffiti,
that's why
then I
Yeah.
can go anywhere.
You've
that's why
gotta-
Link Between
gotta
Worlds.
pay
That's my
extra for
favorite
that.
Zelda game. I really because I loved Link to the Past and this feels like Link
I
to the
did
Past.
love
Plus.
Link to the
Nothing will
Past.
beat A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But this
Really?
is
So
a
you
very
think
close
that's
second.
where the series
Yes.
really tops?
I
Yes,
agree with that, yeah.
I absolutely.
Wow,
I'll
okay.
fight anybody.
Good. I'm
not
I'll
a fan of
stab
3D
a-
You know
I'll
what?
stab a bitch.
That's good because I exited it at just the right time.
Yes, yes, you did, sir.
I walked
we're-
away from the series before it declined.
So we're saying maybe I should like start over and I collect a couple of hearts before I go into
Well,
level
not
one.
necessarily. So I mean, the way that you get health is essentially at the end of every dungeon, you're given a full new heart container, and then you can also go around and look for secrets where you'll get pieces of heart containers, and then that eventually adds up to a new heart.
Yeah, I feel
you
like
might
maybe
just
I
want to
can find-
avoid some bad guys for a while too. There's
Sweet.
also going to talk to Rufio. The other thing that they changed in this
Rufio?
game, or is that his name?
Rufio.
I think that's his name.
Rubio.
I'm probably fucking that up.
Dante Bosco.
A lot of times people ragged on Zelda for the fact that it became really stale and that, okay, oh, did I get the bow and arrow in this temple? Guess what? I'm probably going to fight the boss with a fucking bow and arrow. Surprise, surprise. In this game, you can get any of the items at any point in time through a new rental system. So it actually gives new value to rupees because in most Zelda games, I don't give two fucks about rupees. Like, I don't care.
You should watch some speed runs.
So you're
It's
saying
really
that Zelda
important.
now has like red box for weapons in
Yes.
it?
A bit, I suppose. But it essentially means that you can tackle the dungeons in any order. It's not immediately apparent which weapons you're going to need to use to get through the dungeon. And on top of that, some weapons that were really, really important for one dungeon, turns out you can still use them to fight bosses in another dungeon. Like, there's one boss that fights with a sword and shield that is super fun. If you've played the game, you know which one I'm talking about. There's a bunch of different items that you can use on him that are really, really effective. So it's not just like this one-time use for the dungeon
Well, is that
type item.
good or bad? Because that just means that you don't ever have to really find the thing that's valuable against him. It's just like, oh, you kill him with whatever.
So it's a matter of if you find the thing that's valuable against him, it's going to be really easy. Other items, if you don't know to use it, it could still be a really, really hard
Got
fight.
degrees of usefulness
Yeah.
against him. Well, that's a good idea. I mean, it kind of breaks from that whole Mega Man mentality of I beat that boss, so I
So
can
now
beat
I need to go to
boss.
this one, and I need to go to that one. Yeah.
I do like
They also have a lot.
You
new,
do like that though.
I like that.
They have a lot of new virtual console games too. Like if you never played Metroid Fusion, which was my first Metroid game, love it, and you can get that on. I believe you can get that on the 3DS. I might be wrong. That might be a Wii U title. I'm not
You know, I haven't
sure.
explored the virtual console for 3DS all that
you
much.
should.
If you wanted to dive into topical games, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow are all on the Virtual Console as well for 3DS, and arguably, and I will fight anybody who says it's the best Pokemon games of all time.
But do they have Candlewaxian?
They don't have Candlewaxian, but they're actually like I love Red, Blue, and Yellow. I think they're the pinnacle of the series because they're what I have the most nostalgia for, and nostalgia holds the most weight for me in any game making decision whatsoever.
Yeah, but knowing that I don't have that nostalgia going in,
True,
Yeah,
I
I
think
still-
maybe that's not.
Wouldn't recommend it.
I like it. I can't do your demon voice, but I like it.
I hear Pocket Mortys is a good way to enter into the Pokemon,
Pokemon World. Yeah.
Pocket Whatties?
Have you
Pocket
ever
Morty.
seen
It's
the
a Rick and
show
Morty.
Rick and Morty?
I have not.
You should first off.
It is a good show. And if you like it, then there's a game based on it called Pocket Mortys, which is basically Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a
But
Pokemon
it's
parody.
for more of a more mature audience, maybe, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Rick and Morty, the show, is definitely for a more mature audience, but I don't know about the game.
I don't think if there's any other big 3DS titles. I can't. None of them come to mind. But yeah, I know I have a bunch of the old like virtual console. I got like Mario 3 on there. It's like fuck yeah, it's Super Mario Bros. 3. I'll play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
A lot of the old Wario lands.
Is great.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nintendo. I still love them. And they make good handheld games.
I played one game in Australia, which I couldn't charge because of their outlets, and it was WarioWare Twisted.
blame
so
them.
I'm happy to lend you Wario. WarioWare is like nonstop awesomeness.
I was immediately biased against WarioWare because I grew up
When
playing
it very first
Wario
came
Land,
out?
Wario Land 2, and Wario Land 3 were like Wario's actually, it was a platformer
Right,
with
right.
Wario. And then I was like, oh, a new Wario game's coming out. And it was a collection of mini games. And I was
They're
just
not
so
mini
upset.
games. Miles, they're micro games.
They're micro games
Oh.
because they're so
Micro
fun.
I'm sorry.
games.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Thank you. Remedy that shit.
I was
quickly.
upset. I was upset that they took
mean-
Wario from his normal gameplay.
WarioWare, Twisted, and what's the other one?
I hear they're fun.
WarioWare. It's just WarioWare, Twisted. I don't know. They're both great. They're both fantastic. Happy to lend those to you.
Dope.
But you have to play them on an SP because of the slot.
Yeah.
They're GBA.
I don't know
games.
where my SP is, so that's going to be a problem.
Lend you my SP too.
Well, before we wrap up, I would like to talk a little bit about Uncharted 4 because we've been doing a Let's Play series or a Let's Watch series
Mm-hmm.
in Achievement Hunter. I had
Spoiler free?
Better be
no
spoiler-free.
spoilers, especially because I'm only in like half the videos, so I'm missing chunks of it.
Oh, wonderful.
My main thing right now is it looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The multiplayer that we did a Let's Play in was a lot of fun. The competitive multiplayer seems really enjoyable. It seems a lot like it reminds me very strongly of Last of Us multiplayer.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it
Yeah.
makes sense how it would seem that way. It's still a lot of like jumping from place to place. Sometimes
Right.
it's like, all right, well, we just spent 45 minutes just climbing that cliff face. With nothing really happening
Is
other
it-
than just
Have you
climbing.
played other Uncharted games?
I have not,
Okay.
so I'm
So
coming into
welcome
this
to
completely
Uncharted.
clean.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I guess you could call them jumping and platforming puzzles.
Yeah.
But as somebody, again, I've only played 1 and I'm halfway through 2. They never felt like puzzles to me.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Is nothing in Uncharted 4 so far has been like a puzzle. It's been like, oh, here's a thing that could be a puzzle. Let me just open my journal. Yep, there's the answer to the puzzle.
Okay, that is exactly how
Done.
Uncharted 2 is as well, and I think Uncharted 2 is the best in the series. I think a lot of people think Uncharted 3 is better, but I like
I've heard the
2
opposite,
better. But I did feel that way, where I'd get to something and be like, oh, this looks like a puzzle. Oh, here's a piece of paper and everything I'm supposed to do. God damn it. Like,
Now it goes from being a puzzle to a chore.
Yes.
Yep.
But I do love, I revere, I think Uncharted 2 is one of the best games of all time. I absolutely loved playing it. And one of the things I liked about playing it was when you were climbing, even if you were looking for a ledge that had like white paint on it or something.
Which still in 4, yeah.
Right. But it still felt very natural. Like the climbing still felt natural. It didn't feel like it was a chore.
I think that's a testament to all the like animation and everything.
Right,
that went into it.
absolutely.
Like it all looks like if you barely make the jump, there's a barely make the jump animation where he goes, oh, this is high.
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
that's cool. That's a
Yep.
nice little touch that they did.
It's
I
funny you
have
say that
heard
'cause
though
I feel
that
like
there's
there
too
was
much
Interesting.
traversing.
It feels
in
very
this one.
traversal heavy.
In 4.
It's a lot of unrelieved traversal. It's like, all right, well, especially I'm just one specific level I'm going to mention, but it's not a spoiler really.
Sure.
I'm not even say where it is. Anyway, you're climbing a lot of black rocks.
Okay.
And you just do that for a while. It's like, all right, the distance between fights was like half an hour, and it was just. I mean, there's some nice caves you're looking at, but there's no puzzles. It's just, hey, we're just climbing some stuff.
Interesting.
And I mean, you're with another character, but there's not a lot of back and forth dialogue. It's just you climb the thing.
Just world building.
It feels like it's a lot more unrelieved than, say, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was a lot more broken up in terms of, all right, well, sometimes you maybe had to climb that cliff face, but at the top of the cliff face, then there's going to be other activities. This one is just like climb. Oh, there's a puzzle. Here's the answer. Oh, let's shoot that guy.
I mean, talking about like conversations with other characters that are there, I think that alone is one of the things that made me fall in love with The Last of Us. Is I feel like Ellie was probably the best NPC companion since Alex Vance.
Absolutely.
Comparisons to Elizabeth.
I hated Elizabeth.
You hated Elizabeth?
I liked
Get
her.
off the
I
stage.
liked-
Gave you money. She took
Yeah, it was
care of her
annoying.
fucking
Like-
self. She does do it a lot.
I didn't. All right, so let me rephrase
Girls
that.
were
Okay.
resourceful.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not.
Back it up.
backing down.
I did not hate Elizabeth.
Stand your ground.
I felt like Elizabeth was an NPC. I felt like Alex Vance and Ellie were people.
That's fair.
The thing that, like, I felt like Elizabeth was there for me to use as a tool, and for every now and then to do something
in
cute.
in
every
battle,
now and then.
absolutely. In battle, she is only a tool.
Yeah.
But as her character, I think she's an amazing character.
I
to
felt like
explore.
Ellie was like I'll never forget the moment. The moment I went, oh, this is special. There's a level in The Last of Us where you're exploring through one of many dilapidated buildings, and there's like a little side area that you don't have to go down, but you know, in that game it's like, oh, there might be some supplies, some collectibles. So I go down there, and Joel is cued to go, stay right here. And you hear Ellie go, okay, because it's like really early on in the game where the two characters still don't really care for one another. And you like traverse along a thing. I checked all the drawers and looking for stuff. I'm like, cool, I got like some scissors, that's dope. And I turned around, and in the hallway, Ellie wasn't standing there waiting. Ellie wasn't around the corner. Ellie had decided to prop herself up on a dresser, sit there and kick her legs back and forth, and was just like whistling a thing. And I was like, that's what a person would do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so many games where the person's just, they have their idle animation, they just
There's
stand
like-
there.
and they're just waiting
Yeah, like
patiently.
even Alex would run up,
Ellie
Freeman,
was-
let's go. But I mean, you know, but still back then, Alex was huge when Half-Life 2 came out. Like, Ellie was a fucking person. And it was all those conversations where even if you were going through a section, like replaying that game, there are definite sections that are slow now because you have the tension the first time you're playing because you don't know what to expect. Now you're like, all right, I'll wade through this water and then the big white guy will come. But because they're there and they have their little quips and dialogues and conversations, it's pleasant. And you're like, this is nice. And you kind of enjoy it.
Ellie, above and beyond any other NPC character I've ever seen in a game, knew how to deal with a quiet moment. When something wasn't happening that you had to be paying attention to directly, or that you were going somewhere, she knew how to go do something in the environment. Usually she'd find something like, oh, she'd look through records. I mean, just little stuff. It's like she found
She had
something
her
to
own
do
agenda.
wherever you were that was just her.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with you. She didn't give a fuck what
Yeah,
you're doing.
it was
Yeah, that's
great.
really cool.
It was great. Love that one.
I know we're almost out of time, or we're out of time. I do quickly want to mention I broke my I didn't break it this weekend. Last year, I broke my 20th anniversary PS4's controller. I spilled water on it while
Gavin
I was
told us.
playing. Yeah,
Ooh.
I was playing Who's that damn scary game, and
Until dawn.
Oh, that one.
Until Dawn, yes.
Hey, got
and
it.
I spilled water. I got scared and stopped working. So I got PlayStation actually sent me another. They released a collection that was inspired by the 20th anniversary PS4. They sent me a controller, and the only thing is, it looks exactly the same, except it doesn't have the touchpad with all the. It has the touchpad, doesn't have all the decorations on it.
Okay.
So it has all the symbols on the collector's one, and I was very upset. So Gavin was like, "We are going to replace the innards. Like, we're going to get this controller working again."
That sounds like a project.
So this weekend, he popped open the broken controller. He popped open my new gray controller. They are completely different innards. And they're different size trays. So he couldn't pull the board out without cutting the wires for the rumble packs. And so it was like all these things. We couldn't just like make a clean swap. And he noticed when he was putting them back together that the serial numbers were different. The collector's one, I believe, ends in F. And the new one ends in like N or something.
Or does it end in U?
Right, exactly. But then the even like weirder thing, we were like, I guess we're gonna call it a day. He puts them all back together. Then he gets one of our black controllers and takes it apart. It also doesn't fit. It also has N or something at the end of a serial number. We have one other controller who turns it over. It ends in F, and he's like, oh, maybe this one, but he didn't crack it open yet.
Yeah.
So the mystery continues.
Yeah, apparently whenever they put out a new wave of like of the controllers, they make slight hardware updates.
Yeah,
to them,
which make
so-
them impossible to swap out.
Wow.
So,
I guess to be fair, who would think that you would do that?
I don't know, but I just like make your shit consistent so I can do it, please. But I'm
They're working on
hoping.
making it better.
Thank you. I'm hoping that we got two controllers that are close enough together that this last black controller will be able to be
we'll keep you in our
sacrificed.
thoughts.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck. Yes.
Thank you.
Keep us
Report back
updated.
with an update.
Yeah, he had to successfully put together the controller that we decided not to gut, the gray one, and it had to work before he was allowed to continue
Okay, very
taking
good.
apart other
So
controllers.
the
everything
controllers
works.
survived.
Yeah, everything survived.
Their experience.
It's experiment, yes.
Warranty's void, but controllers.
Oh, yeah, totally
The
gone.
best part was, okay, so if you flip it over, there's like a sticker on the back, right? That's like your warranty sticker, and it has like the serial number and all that stuff on it. And okay, there's 4 screws, and he's like undoing the screws, and he's like, yeah, this is going to void your warranty because I'm going to have to peel this sticker up because I bet you there's a screw under here. So then he takes the screwdriver and he like digs it into the sticker, and then he's like, oh, there's not a screw under there. And I fucking ruined the sticker without being sure there was a screw
You can
under
feel it. It's just a hole.
There's a hole. It's just a hole. He was like, it's like like they trolled
okay.
me with the hole. Like
To
the
be
screw's
fair.
supposed to be there.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, so they got him to
Look,
do exactly
tell
what they
Gavin
wanted.
that just because there's a hole doesn't mean there needs to be a
It
screw.
needs a
Thank
fill-in.
you.
Not every hole needs a fill-in.
Not every hole needs a screwdriver jabbed at it mercilessly.
Or screwing. Or an unscrewing.
Last
you.
thing before we go, it's not a video game, but one thing that did happen in the game's realm is $1 Million But, the card
Yay!
game.
And the Kickstarter kicked off today.
At 12:01.
And kicked ass immediately.
In a minute and 42 seconds.
So you still
it
have
was nuts.
time to go help. If you
But
like,
yeah.
29 days to be exact. We
Yeah.
hit our goal in 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fun game too. It's created so there's a trigger card, which is the base, the first half of the scenario. Every time you spend $1,
Yeah.
and then everyone else gets to play off of that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the number of scenarios you can come up with.
Yeah.
Like every time I've pulled a sample card, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
It was a bunch
They're
of
great.
A bunch of us and like a few of the other writers around the office got to contribute. So some of my horrible things are in there, and
Hey.
I hope people enjoy them.
You too can own a little Miles Luna.
All
All right.
but
Well,
yeah.
thank you for joining us. If you want to check that out, it's still on Kickstarter.
MDBgame.com.
MDBgame.com. Hashtag butt stuff. Is that right?
Yeah. One
with,
T.
with one T
One
on
T.
the butt.
But hey,
Butt.
if you're into the other
But-
butt stuff, more power
Stuff.
to you, man or woman. Hey, thanks to
you
our
go.
sponsors, MeUndies and Crunchyroll.
Well done.
And anything else, ladies and gents?
See you next week.
See you next week.